Saturday. It's Saturday.
Saturday! It's also dark.
I silence my alarm clock with my fist.
I'm so proud.
I keep saying this to myself over and over, but I've really got to find a way to wake up to music that I don't detest. After I get my next paycheck, I guess I'll have Chiyu take me out alarm clock shopping or something. Because that's the thing people do.
Yeah.
Maybe because I'm tired and spacing out, I say it out loud. Well, that's still going to be a ways away if I don't count getting paid by Spork, though. And that's not like a real paycheck for my legit job or anything. What would that be considered? It's an extension of my actual job at Hakuniwa, but it's like a side contracting service or something like that. Complicated financial matters aren't things I should be thinking about when I'm not even out of bed yet. But I'm so tired that my brain keeps meandering in weird disease circles like a fractal being drawn by a graphing calculator. I love fractals. I used to make fractals. They were pretty.
I don't think I ever did.
I used to post them on DeviantArt.
Yeah, I used to post really shitty drawings on DeviantArt, so...
Case in point, that simile. You can tell you've been hanging out with Shiyu too much when you start thinking of things like that of your own volition. Look, I'm an artist. Anything mathematical that isn't drawing guidelines with a ruler to make sure of perspective or the golden rule of composition is the enemy. Math can go bash his brains out in the corner of a tofu block. I think I need a damn cup of coffee. Of course, the reason I'm so discombobulated is that this is a full hour earlier than I usually wake up. My alarm has gone off this early because I set it to last night. Maybe it's not fair of me to keep hitting it when it's just doing what I tell it to, but I don't need to anthropomorphize my machines. And anyhow, I'm certainly not telling it to play music this stupid at me to wake me up. I set my alarm an hour early because I was too tired last night. Yeah, after all the digging, explaining the situation to my parents, and then dealing with my super enthusiastic best friend on the phone again to take a shower or a bath. And I think I'm actually going to lose my native-born Japanese card if I go for too much longer without bathing. Besides, I was sweating yesterday, and if I leave that alone, it will get gross, as will my hair.
I mean, I would have just showered when I got home.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been like, hey, I'm home, I'm taking a shower, I have shit to talk to you about.
Mornings are the enemy, and so is cold water. I complain at the table, and my dad has the grace to not say that it's my own fault for skipping out on the warm bath last night.
What, do you have to bring in your water from outside? Like, do you not have a water heater?
Don't know. He just hands over a stack of pancakes, the jam jar, and a cup of coffee. Have I mentioned lately that I love my dad? Because he's awesome. The TV is on, set to some news station since Dad's dramas don't come on until later. I wait for the caffeine to revive me as I listen to some newscaster talking about blah blah science, blah blah genetic engineering, blah blah, the Defense Force wants you, blah, and also more blah.
And more animal sacrifices.
Yeah. It's like clockwork, the world's most boring clockwork.
Dead chickens and science.
At least tell me the forecast for the next week or something, okay? That's useful, and I haven't heard it a billion times before. I tuned it out and watched Dad moving leisurely around the kitchen while I let pancakes slather in blackberry jam and coffee that's a third vanilla creamer resuscitate me.
Is that me or you?
I don't know.
It just says man.
I thank my father for the food and then take the plates to the sink to rinse them off.
That doesn't say who said man.
No, and why they said man.
Who just said man? I don't...
Man. I've missed my mom again today, even though she goes to work a lot later on Saturdays and comes home earlier to boot. There's no use complaining about it since it's my own head that's keeping me asleep so long all the time, but I do feel kind of bad that we don't get to fight over the kitchen early in the morning anymore.
Fuck, are you snoring, Sassy?
I'm heading out. I'll be back at the usual time.
Alright, I'll give your regards to Kilala if you don't make it to dinner.
That's too nice. I wonder if Kirara is her mom's name then.
Nope, they have the cat from Inuyasha.
Yeah.
It's officially, I don't
It's
care
not
who
a
it actually is.
I don't think it was a cat.
It was some. No, I thought it was a demon cat thing.
It was a demon, that's for sure, but I don't know if it was specifically a cat demon.
I mean, it made cat noises.
It had 2 tails.
Yeah, but it made cat noises.
I don't know. I know that I have a lot to be grateful for since my parents are like this, but sometimes it feels like I let myself get too lazy since I know they'll cut me slack. I get my bike out and start on the way down to Hakoniwa. I at least need to tap in with manager before I head out. And besides, I'm picking up a passenger here today. The wind's cold, but I think it's warmer today than it was yesterday. That's good news for Spork and this job, since we've got some preliminary planting to do today, and the warmer it is, the easier it'll be on the plants. When I pull up to the parking lot, there's a familiar face loitering around the entrance of the store. Hey, did I keep you waiting? The girl turns to look at me and smiles beatifically.
No, I just got here a little while ago. You're making it sound like we're on a date, Senpai.
And then she grins while making a trite remark, ruining any potential cuteness factor she might have had.
Notice me.
This is Hiki Shiyu. How best to put it? Her looks don't betray her eccentric personality, but they also don't present the most accurate picture of them. She looks like an ordinary, cheerful girl for the most part, and even has the bells and ribbons she likes to wear in her hair aren't all that out of place amongst high school girls who like to look cute. It's the purple stripes of dye in her hair that are usually the tip-off. Now, you usually take one look at these and wonder what kind of weird subculture this kid is into, but then again, the rest of her still looks normal, right?
Dyed hair doesn't necessarily make me think weird subculture. Stuff like extreme piercings.
Yeah.
Like, say, if she had piercings in her neck, would make me think weird subculture.
The hint is her given name. In her name, Shiyu is written purple feathers, so the Shiyu in question thought it would be funny to put some dye in her hair and make a visual pun. Her family name is written as the desire to fly, so her parents obviously had a sense of humor in naming her, but I wonder if they were really expecting her to take the joke to the next level the way she has. Well, she's got a good relationship with her family from what I can tell, so I guess it's not any of my business. Incidentally, Shiyu gets caught at the yearbook hair inspection every year and is forced to dye the stripes black so that her pictures are presentable. She dyes them black right after that every time. This has been happening since middle school, and I bet it's never going to change. On one hand, I kind of don't know what to say, because no matter how much time passes, I'm sure this girl is never going to grow up. But then if Shiyu got serious all of a sudden and stopped liking fantasy stuff and dyeing her hair silly colors, at this point I'd be a little worried something had happened.
You know,
so that's alright.
I think our protagonist here could benefit from playing a couple video games.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, sit down, play Dragon Age.
I was just thinking the same thing. Play Dragon Age. Be somebody else for a little while. Save the world a little bit.
Like, sit down, play Dragon Age. Maybe if you want to be angry, play, like, Fable 3, which is kind of thumpy if you use a hammer. Like, open your... It seems like all she does is work and mope, and that's really not healthy, and I am really concerned for her.
Also, Fable 3 has an excellent dressing up system.
God, yes, I love it. And I really hate that they did not fix the Games for Windows Live thing.
Yeah.
Because now I have to figure out if I can get that to work on my fucking computer.
Yeah. Anyway, she's changed out of her school uniform and is here in personal clothes. I wonder that there'd be work to do and not just fun social stuff, so I hope she's okay with getting that outfit dirty. I leave Shiyu in the parking lot for a few minutes so that I can report to manager and then head back outside. I can't help but notice that you haven't got your bike. When I say this, Shiyu just tilts her head at me.
No, hey senpai, I don't think I actually need one.
Were you listening when I told you this house is way on the outskirts of town? It's gonna take you too long if you expect to walk. She tilts her head the other way. I think I saw something vaguely similar to this yesterday with my idiot client.
I don't know, that picture kind of makes it look like she's stroked out.
Yeah, well, a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't it? Like, she's gone from having pupils to no pupils, and that is a dead-eyed stare if I've ever seen one.
Yes.
Well, I figured we'd be riding double.
She said it with a straight face and everything. Shouldn't you have to ask permission for something like that first?
Aw, senpai, do you really think I'm that heavy? Besides, I'm doing you a favor by getting on behind you.
Oh, really? What would that be?
I'm gonna be your wingman.
I was thinking she's going to press her tits against her back.
Suddenly, lesbians.
Yeah. She holds up her index finger and smiles brightly.
Isn't it obvious? Riding double on a bicycle with a girl means that the person doing the pedaling gets a ticket straight to Marshmallow Heaven for as long as the ride lasts.
I was right.
You called it.
She sticks out her chest like she's bragging, maybe to emphasize the meaning of her offer.
Boobs!
I cover my face with a hand. Man, there's so many parts of that I can criticize, I don't even know where to start. Marshmallow Heaven, just what kind of arrogate do you think this is? This is reality, not some kind of half-baked romantic comedy. Also, I think that kind of invitation is supposed to come from characters that look like they've got balloons grafted onto their chests.
Wow, do you have a problem with my boobs? Rude.
To the contrary, my implication is that I'm not interested in them to begin with.
Also rude.
She salutes me with her middle finger and I return the gesture. It's an exchange with no malice to it. Shia's face stays sunny and energetic throughout the whole back and forth, and I'm pretty sure I'm smiling despite myself. She's as obnoxious and completely not cute as she's always been. But still, I think she's one of the reasons I've been able to keep going after the whole Kenichi and Netsuko debacle.
I was gonna say debacle?
So I throw my leg over my bicycle without any further comment. Get on if you're getting on. It'll take even more time to get your bike and my pace hourly after all. She throws her arms up in the air, yelling, "Yay!" and plants her butt on the back end of the seat, grabbing my waist. Hold on tight. Also, you better not mess up my balance or you're calling a cab and paying for both of us.
Roger.
She squeezes shamelessly. Since she's just going to keep this up if I yell at her to quit hitting on me already, I lean forward to escape the range of the marshmallows and start pedaling. It's been a while since I've done this. Not just with Shiyu, but with anybody. Natsuko never had a bike, so I always wound up ferrying her around too. And I think I even did this with Kenichi a couple times, but I hadn't given either of them a ride for a while, even before the whole issue there. Shiyu does have her own bike, so whenever we go out to do things, she brings hers along if it's a place we can bike to. So it takes a little while to actually get used to the resistance of the extra weight, and my legs hurt for a little while until they warm up.
You know, I'm wondering, how did she does she live within walking distance then of the hardware store?
I guess.
We have to assume.
Or she walked really far.
Yeah. Hee I miss this a lot.
She suddenly pipes up from behind me, echoing my thoughts. Oh? I have to nearly yell so that my voice won't be blown away by the wind.
Yeah, it's been a while since I got a bike ride from you. I think this is you. Or is this me?
It's you.
Oh, well, we usually don't get to do this in winter once it started snowing, but I don't know, this has gone on a little longer than usual, so I'm glad. I know that there's not really any helping it, though.
I have to keep watching the road in front of me, so I can't turn around to see what kind of face Shiyu is making. Maybe I'm imagining things, but what she just said sounded kind of lonely. Man. I wonder... That's another man.
Mysterious man.
I wonder what it's been like hanging around someone like me for the past winter.
Probably one hell of a downer.
I mean, you would know. You hang around with Chad, and we're all depressed as fuck.
Yeah, like, well, the thing is that I think it's one thing when one person's A-okay and the other person isn't. It's another thing when all of us in chat are like, ugh, all the time. So, like, I would assume this is just me assuming, if you're in good mental health, to be around someone that isn't can be kind of tiring.
Probably.
I just know that it's tiring to be in my own head, so...
Yeah.
Uh,
I get sick of me. I'm not surprised when you get sick of me.
yeah. I mean, I haven't gotten sick of you, so...
Aw.
But...
I haven't gotten sick of you either.
Yay!
Woo.
Woohoo!
I can't have been all that entertaining. All I've done is mechanically eat, mechanically sleep, and trudge back and forth to work. All things considered, it's kind of a wonder that I was even able to graduate high school in that state. It's probably thanks to the way I was in a different class from Kenichi and Natsuko that year, mostly. I still did homework and got okay grades on tests, because you don't have to think much to memorize and regurgitate facts, but... From that time, I became a complete ghost member of my clubs, stopped doing extracurricular activities that were strenuous, and spent most of my time just sleeping. I had already passed the exams for college I wanted to get into, since the art college exams were held and the results revealed earlier than most other institutions, but if things had happened before the exam dates, I doubt I'd even have bothered taking exams at all. I even became more or less unable to paint. The only things in the attic, which I use as my atelier, from this past winter are the blue-white snowscapes. I didn't really do much with friends and acquaintances and spent most of my time in conversations giving short, monotone answers and reacting to whatever the other person said to me.
Therapy, honey. Please.
But like she said, that couldn't be helped. My heart and my head were frozen. I didn't feel attached to my body most of the time, and it was like I was watching an old Technicolor movie of myself being buffeted through the outside world from the bottom of a black pit. Because I couldn't climb out of
Therapy.
Spell it with us now. Therapy. Yes.
I'm pretty sure that's it.
Because I couldn't climb out of the pit, I was in something like a state of hibernation. When I wasn't actually able to curl up and sleep, my mind and feelings did something like that anyway. It might not have to... It might not have come to that if I'd been face to face with Kenichi when he told me the truth. If that were the case, I could have just punched him, punched Natsuko, and gotten angry and grieved. But with things as they were, I closed myself off from everything. No, it happened without even my willing it to. The same way that snow piled up in the sleepy town, it piled up inside me. I haven't even seen either of them since then, except from far away at graduation. Perhaps now, because they'll probably have left for college, I've thawed out enough to feel attached to my own body again. But, still, the things I've felt since that time haven't exactly been positive. It couldn't be helped. I wound up drifting away from just about everyone else I knew. So I had my parents and my coworkers with whom I kept interacting, even if the conversations were rote and empty. And then there was Shiyu, who kept one-sidedly trying to communicate with me all this time. Like she couldn't perceive the heavy atmosphere. For whatever reason, she didn't give up and kept talking to me like everything was fine.
I'm pretty sure she was actively trying to stop you from going catatonic.
Yeah.
Not being oblivious to your situation.
Yeah. But even though Shiyu's like this, it's not like she's insensitive or bad at reading social situations. So, I wonder how she's felt watching me all this time.
Probably very stressed. Sorry.
Eh?
And thanks. Oh wait, did we do this wrong?
I guess so. Sorry.
Eh?
And thanks, I guess.
Senpai?
I can't tell if she's confused or if she just didn't hear. But whatever. I tightened my grip on the handlebars. You better hang on! I leaned down over the handlebars of my bike and put extra power into my legs. The pedals feel like feathers under my feet. Yeah, I like biking a lot more than riding in the motorcycle's sidecar. It's less noisy, and even though the wind stings my face and makes my eyes water, I like that I'm in control and not a passenger most of all.
Wow, his house is really pretty far. What? Oh, his house, what?
His house really is pretty far.
Okay, his house really is pretty far. I can't read English.
By the time we've hit the outskirts, Shiyu pipes up with that. Sorry, that was my, freaking, chair.
That's fine. I'm sure mine's been creaking this entire time. I don't know.
It's new, it shouldn't be creaking like that.
Oh, no.
There's a lot of forest on the uneven land surrounding this town, and most of this flat land is being used for farming, but there are handfuls of patches of flat land that haven't been taken up by trees and such. Spork's house is, of course, one of them. I pointed out for Shiu when it pops into view at the end of the road.
Man, it really does look like it's a Western home. It's kind of weird seeing a home that doesn't have a wall or fence around it.
That's really true. Around here, the houses are not quite as tightly packed together as they tend to be further south, since as a community we're somewhere between suburban and rural. But we do have high fences and such between the houses, or entryways that are not directly facing the roads as a measure of privacy. But
Sounds
Spork's
like my
house...
cousin. I have cousins in Texas, and I guess in Texas it is ridiculously common to have fences.
Mm-hmm.
So when she came up, one of the times when we were younger, when she came up here, she's like, it's weird that there aren't fences around every yard. And I was really confused because it's about half and half in here in Michigan.
Mm-hmm. We have fences around our backyard, but not our front yard.
Yeah, we don't have fences around our front yard. Like I said, about half the houses will have a fence around the backyard. We don't. Our neighbors don't, but the people across the street do. So it's. I was confused. Like, there's no fence. Okay.
But Spork's house has no fences and an open driveway and front door that are visible from the road, and it really does look like something you'd see on some Dove TV show from Europe or America. The beds are already dug out, so today we're going to be starting from putting in the big things. From what I can remember from yesterday, there's going to be at least one plum tree and several hydrangea bushes.
That's what she said.
Yeah. We may not get everything done today, since we'll only be working for a few hours. Having 3 pairs of hands ought to help, though. For a moment, there's only the sound of wind and rattling of the bike. She makes it sound like she's impressed.
Oh. That sounds like it'll be really pretty in the rainy season.
Yeah. It seems like Spork's picked out plants just based on that kind of reasoning. But for the most part, I think we can arrange things so that they really are going to pop once we get some bloom going.